Anyway, so I found the silhouette, and then the silhouette is a kid holding a butterfly. And I thought...
Yeah, it's good.
And then but actually, stylistically, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing something really abstract, but you needed to be able to tell what this was. So I had to pick something that was really recognizable. But anyway, well, my thought was I wanted an image that instantly softened the heart of the person that saw it. And everybody likes kids. And lately, my son has been obsessed with worms. So you would never think that something like worms. I mean, obviously, maybe a little bit people think when they're kids they can remember playing with bugs and stuff, but my little boy just loves these worms. He has me dig up worms and he carries them around the yard like they're pets. He takes them on the trampoline. He takes them wherever he's going and he plays with them like they're pets. Sometimes he forgets and they dry out and he gets really bummed out, but I just can remember going in the backyard being as exciting as going to the zoo. I can remember feeling like that. So a silhouette of a little boy with a butterfly landing on his hand, I think it's about as happy as you can get in your childhood. And I don't think if you're blessed enough to have a good childhood like I was, I don't think you get a much better time in your life. Joy is something that I've come to pray for on a regular basis, and it's kind of like I would say it's like an amped up version of the peace that passes understanding. I guess that's the joy I'm talking about. So when I pray, I basically pray to stay in God's joy. So that's not conditional. That's not something that situation is going to take you out of. So I'll have a really bad day and I'll pray, God, you promised joy and I'm claiming your promise. Right now I'm not feeling very joyous, but I'm not looking for happiness. I'm not looking for like a temporary fleeting, when you get something really nice, or I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for like God's joy. So it'll be like something happens and I know that I'm in the Lord's will, and I'll get this warmth and I'll get this really amazing feeling. And I know that's, as far as a feeling, that's what I'm talking about. But I guess what I'm calling joy and the promise of God's joy is not so much that fleeting as just like the peace of consistency. Almost like a background noise. It's crazy. I said, God, I'm very happy for the opportunity you provided me. I really am. But I would really like to, this has been going on for a few weeks now, I said, I really like to do my art and I really like to do ministry. And this is how faithful God is. God's not a genie. I know that he said no to me plenty of times. But this is how faithful God is. I specifically said I'd like to be able to make a living doing my art, and I'd like to use my art in ministry. If those two things come together and I can do both, that'd be wonderful. And within the next 2 weeks, I got a call to do a $500 mural at the brewery. And I got you contacted me, and 2 people online got a hold of me. There's pivot points in your life, and when I surrendered my life to the Lord completely this time, not withholding anything, I was walking down the street and it was freezing cold, and I said to God, I really need a ride. This sounds pretty basic. I was walking, so I didn't have a ride. And I was so mad, and I was like, God, I cry out to you all the time, and you never answer me. You never answer me. And this is pretty nuts. And I said, well, I'm not asking you for anything ever again, because you just don't answer me. 30 seconds later, this woman pulls over in a Lexus, and she says, God told me to pull over and give you a ride. And I said, wow, because I was just praying about it. So I said to God, that's it. That was like, I mean, I've had the whole like Damascus Road moments before in my life. And for somebody like really emotional and dramatic, that's the way it worked for me. But it's like a reminder. I said, okay, God, you clearly hear me. And the other day I had another epiphany as I was listening to my daughter. It was her bedtime and she was crying. I was sitting there listening to the baby cry. And I was listening to her. It was hard for me to listen to her. But she needed to sleep, It was her time to go to bed. And I said, well, this is a unique position because I'm not ignoring her. I'm actually listening to her. But I'm choosing to not do anything. So this is like an active, I guess you would call it an active no. I don't know what you would call it. I'm choosing to not do anything for her benefit. And I thought, how many times has God had to just sit there and say, he hears you and he knows you're crying out because you want something or you feel like you need something. He chooses not to do anything. It's not ignoring. People think it's ignoring. It's not ignoring. That's what was real. He's listening, but he's making a decision, a hard decision for him, I'm sure, because it was hard for me, and I'm only a human being. She says my name, Dadu, Dadu, and that gets me.